Hey folks, welcome back to Bro Do It Yourself. This is my, gosh, I never even thought about trying to come up with a name for this. Because this is more bonus than it is, a video for just what I'm doing. There's a combination of stuff I've been working on here. Pretty much, let's start with, the fact that it's still in the high 60s. It is, November the 9th. 2023. Right now it's about 9:30 in the evening. It's daylight savings time. So I've been working out here with low light. This is the area. I think where I left off was where am I going to put 3 lights. Maybe that's the thumbnail. Where am I going to put 3 lights? And I'm thinking I'm going to end up ordering 2 more. This is the one that I was thinking about, and I figured out tonight that, the most important thing is go linearly. Ideally, this is the last light I put on. I know that I'm going to need more light down this way. I'm going to put that off for later. I have made a decision that I am going to put that string along that wall and this string along this wall on one breaker. Well, not one breaker, but one dimmer switch. I guess it's a small breaker. And then I'm going to put these 2 on a separate breaker or separate dimmer. Now I got myself talking in NEC. And then I'm going to put these 4 on the 3rd dimmer switch. Where's the little gang channel right there? I'm going to have, I was trying to decide between 5 and 4, and I think I've gone with 4. I've got a 5 box in there. But my 4th one is going to be the control of the light here. And I think I'm going to end up using 2 lights, which I do not have. I could just buy the one. They're $39. So I've got this one here. That was the 2 that I had left over. I got 2 coming Friday, which will fit me out here. I can go on and mount this because they're all 31.5 inches mountable. Nothing's wired together yet, so I put the other 31-inch here. I'm sure at some point I'll reconfigure this. I can't go with today's. I can't imagine having this insanity here, and I'm thinking the beautiful thing that just kind of dropped in my mind is, since the door's here, the electric's there, it's starting to get a little organization. I'm thinking pack out city here instead of back there where I put all the rakes and everything. Yeah, it's starting to warm up to that idea, so these shelves will be gonzo. I do like shelves, but I like the strung wire shelves. I've got some in the basement. I can even have them on rollers and just keep stuff like that way I won't have to keep painting inside. And I'll work on that later, but I'm starting to warm up that idea. Pack out here. I got a bunch of it. That way I could have carpentry, electric, plumbing, all it. I have to, in case it gets cluttered or I got a car in here, I won't have to work around trying to get to it. At the front of the shop here, I could have access to, like I do here. I like having my Kennedy kit up here because it's all workable service. From the end of this tool bench, there's a shelf there, hard to see. I had this Kennedy mounted on this service here, pulled it up and pulled it off, and decided to waste space on my toolbox for some reason. Anyway, this would be nice to have all my air tools and hand tools, all the metric SAE sockets and wrenches and everything that's got anything to do with automotive. And then on this side, everything has to do with crafting, Anyway, that idea is, that seed is starting to take root. I think that this yellow box, which has got slotted screws in it, which goes back to the 70s, is probably original. And everything you see here, I took a cover off of that, which was I think that's all dead. You can see I got a neutral wire that's nicked there, so that's got to be replaced. But I'm almost certain that this, let's get up here, it's one of these brown wires, these 10 gauge, I think probably are the original 15 amp 110 volt service for this building. And back in the day, I know over in Tom's garage, he has a receptacle right here, and then he's got a receptacle for his garage door opener, and then he has a switch for his garage and the energy for his LED. So what I'm getting at is I think my LED is probably hooked into that same line. And of course, my dad has made spaghetti out of this, and I can guarantee you he had a good reason. We've got this kind of thing here for it's almost like an extension cord, but that is for the energy to the garage door opener. This signal wire here is for the light. So yeah, see it breaks over there. So I gotta remember all that stuff. Try to keep it in my mind before I start ripping that stuff out. What I got to do right now is I got to cut a 2x4. And if you look back here, well, that's why I had headlight on. Let me put my headlight back on real quick. This is going to be all right. So if you look back here, he's got that 2x4 standoff. See, what my dad did is ideally all this is open rafter. And my dad decided he was going to make it usable space, where I used it as an extension, that idea with my compressor. Since I don't have the square footage for it down here on the footprint, I put it up in the attic. So it's in the family. The Insanity runs. So he's every once in a while, see, he's got standoffs here and the supports that he's got in, you know, to hold 2x to hold a floor in up there, floor of sorts. So he's got stuff, but he doesn't have the support run all the way here. So I'm getting ready to cut a couple of these. And before I ever go ripping that stuff out, but I can see without tearing that out, I'm going to have some difficulty. So I haven't decided how I'm going to utilize this now. That coiled up gauge 10 was routed over to the 500 watt halogen, which goes in the end of the engine bay of your car when you got your hood open, which is nice. I'd like to maybe try to utilize that again. But for right now, I'm going to make a couple. I'm going to cut a couple of the 2x4 lengths and stick in here. I'll screw them together, or maybe screw it on in the same kind of tunnel-like thing and deal with it later, what I have to do, because I got a sneaking suspicion I'm going to cut every bit of this crap. This is my signal wire for the garage door. I do not want to cut that. That will always remain there. The rest of the stuff, and I don't know how that got nicked, but it is. And that's brown. So this is brown. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some, see, you can see the brown coming in here. You can see brown going underneath. So I don't know what's going on there, folks. I'm going to have to tear the cover off this. But I think what I'm going to do right now is the next step is go on and make some stuff here. Make that stand off. Affix it to that, like that one there, because right here, 14 inches out, on this seam goes my first standoff that I made for this. And you can see it's a little different configuration here. Rather than being centered, I have it out to throw light down on the electrical panel. And I had to reach down. I have to reach down to grab this. And reach up. Yeah, something like that. It's on this seam, so this is where my light will be. I don't see any problem with that. It's going to be almost in line with that, except I've got it moved off the center line so that I have more light projecting down when I open the door for that breaker. Is that door open left? It sure does. Am I correct in that assumption? Let's just see. Negative. No, affirmative. That is a big 10-4. Yeah, so that works for me. That's great. I was thinking, well, I could turn it upside down, but I am going to have a 125 amp breaker in here. I'm going to have so many breakers for this circuit that I have one right outside out of this box. Whatever I did with it. So strange. I had the thing right here. I just had it out of the box. The seam is, I don't know. My God, where is it? Crying out loud. See, I just hate that about myself. Not only am I getting old, it's right there, for crying out loud. I had it out of the box. I was checking to see the configuration for it. It has no outside access on or off. But I will have to label it with with white letters per NEC to let the fire department know what it is. That'll be my outside. It'll be right outside the door here. And I'll run it right into this. And the plane's coming together. So anyway, I got a lot of plates spinning. I want to talk about this stinking thing as a little bonus. I had this delivered yesterday, this multi-tool. And it's great. I've got, in one of these boxes down here, I have a Harbor Freight. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Harbor Freight oscillating tool. I've used it many times. The thing that we like about Milwaukee is its battery. And they, for all intents and purposes, is as strong as any 110 volt system. And it's really nice. You don't have to mess around with cords and stuff. This is nice. It's the M12. I've got the M18 grinder downstairs, and I got the little 3-inch, I think that's an M12 3-inch cutter grinder. I think it's more of a 3-inch cutter than a grinder. It's nice. I haven't electrified any of that stuff because I've been busy doing this. I don't want to get distracted. I received this the other day, and I used it today. This is the saw blade off of the M18, but the M12, I'm going to tell you what, when I thought these two are champs and these are the champs, and I want to imagine that M18 quarter drive hex is awesome too, but I can see where it has bigger muscles. This thing here has got all the power I need for doing anything like this on the job. The M18, I'm sure, is going to be the top tier tool to reach for. That hex, quarter drive hex, will be as nice as the half drive hammer drill. Because I'm telling you, with the M18 and this thing, that's nice. It's beautiful. It's a good reach for. I would reach for it on the site, but if it was just small stuff like cutting into PVC and wood and stuff, I would grab it in a minute. I think that this pretty much is just going to be left for custom areas. I mean, I would still use it on PVC and boards and all that stuff on job site. This got a 5/8 throw. It's got a 7/8 throw. This motor is smaller, of course. I'm not sure how long the battery would last, but I would take this backcountry. I would use this in cabinetry. I would use it if I was in a spot and I needed to get in here for any kind of plumbing or anything I'm doing. Small size. And I want to tell you what, like I was cutting the furring strips. Perfect. I mean, you could cut the dickens out of current furring strips. You could cut a 4x4 with that thing, and it doesn't even breathe. The battery's 4 bars. I mean, I've been using it, cutting little stuff. Haven't barely even. It wouldn't even be like maybe 15 minutes on a day, job site. So this thing here, we used it a couple times today, and I can realize, man, this is the one I want to go for in small jobs. Perfect for what I need. This is the real deal. Sawzall, I use that on everything industrial, like I was cutting off in concert with plasma, cutting off exhaust and any kind of stuff like that. I cut the tank off of a speed air compressor, you know what I mean? That's the job. And I would imagine, put to the task with the right blade that they have, that will do the same job as that. It just won't be electrified. It'll be battery driven. So all these tools, they got the technology dialed in today the same way it was when I came on board with the DeWalt's back in the day. It was like, it was the new thing, and it lasted for a good 20 years, probably 20 plus. But everything comes to an end, and now this fuel technology, brushless, man, it's just another step. And they've got these smart motors who read the overload capacity, so you don't burn your motors out, and it'll turn off the battery. And it's amazing. It's just everything there. It's this accumulation of technology. It's all coming together. I can see that in a jet engine, working in development too. Everything. It's kind of like Formula One back in the day before they had any of the electronic recovery. Now it's a de rigueur and everyday automotive building, using electric from braking and stuff like that. And same way with the jet engines, anything that's in military gets filtered down into commercial, and the technology is amazing. And General Electric is always on the cutting edge. And not tooting our horn or anything, they're all rolls. All of them are good, but we put a little more. Little different alloys, little different technology. Look how long we've been working on the carbon technology back in the UDF days, where we had if it wouldn't have been for the noise factor, we'd have had a outside counter turning turbine outside fan, UDF, unducted fan. We'd have had that in airports now, but it was too noisy now. The technology is coming down into another engine that we're building. So there's more on that, but what I'm saying is how the technology just keeps ramping up. It's a beautiful thing to watch a generational thing, This will probably do me till flowers are growing over my head, so it just keeps getting better. Okay. I'm going to put this crap away so you won't have to see it anymore. I think what I'm going to do is put the M18s away, since I'm not doing any heavy duty work out here, and save the M18 hardware for my decking. Take this all downstairs and leave the M12 stuff here for the reach force. So until next time, I'll see you later. Thanks for joining me again, and sorry for the camera. I'm going to get the tripod working somehow or another. I've got another one down there, and anyway, I'll talk to you later. See you. Bye.